So let's look at some of the extra customization that's available in the Business Builder and the turbocharged editions of the software. Let's work through the setup menu first, so the pick list updates. You can update more of these. All these categories are available to be edited by yourselves. So client archive reasons, you can customize those. The next one down is client group. I'll talk a little bit about this actually, because this is a very powerful part of the software. The client groups are a section in the client's record. If I show you here, on the Groups tab. Now this is just marketing groups, or whatever group you want to call this, however you want to title them. We call them marketing groups generally, that you can tick that the client belongs to. And the way you can use these, for example, we've got quite a few in here where the client groups starts with comment. So we've got comment appearance, comment carpet, comment dry time, comment leather, comment no one else, comment office staff, comment products. And we've set all those up, and you can do the same as well. And the way this allows us to use the software is when the client makes a comment on the questionnaire that we can use. We've obviously put that in the system, and you can see one of the other videos that talks about the value of that. But what we're also able to do in this edition is set these groups up and tick which they belong to. So if they've made a comment about the leather suite came up like new, or they've made, for instance, a comment about they've tried others but we're the best, and they've specifically said that, we can put a tick in the box here as well. Now the system now knows that they've made comments about leather and they've made comments about tried others. So this is how detailed you can get. If you send in a quotation to somebody about a leather item, you can actually ask the system to pull up all the comments that are about leather items. And obviously if this is a quotation they've not used us before, it would be beneficial to have a comment on there that says they've tried others as well. So you can get very clever with this and start to attach very specific reinforcing client testimonials onto the quotations that you're preparing for people, or as a separate sheet attached to the quotation that you're sending off. So that's just one way that you can use the client groups, and this is a really key part, so I'm going to spend just a couple of minutes more explaining about how we use these. We've got things like employer, so we know employer Chorus, employer Crompton, employer Pegler, and on this demo database we do quite a lot of work in our business for Chorus and their employees. So if we know they work at Chorus, we can put a tick in the box here. Chorus have a 2-week shutdown period over the summer where all the office staff are off at once, so we can mail everybody that we know belongs to this Chorus group and say that we know your shutdown period's coming and we'll do an offer for Chorus employees. So really you can use this to really target your database and make this very specific mailings to people, even down to things like the job that they do, hairdressers, nurses and teachers. Teachers is another good one. We can do mail shots to teachers when we know the half term's coming or the summer holidays and things like that. We can mail shot everybody that we know is a teacher because it's ticked in the section here. So marketing groups, I've banged on a little bit about it, but it's really powerful, and you can customize that completely in this edition. Some of the other things are the client types, so client type 1, 2 and 3. If I quickly show you the client record again, if we're on the main tab here, we can see that this is client type 1 here, this is client type 2 and this is client type 3, and you can see that you can customize the content of these in this pick list here. And not only that, within the client's record as well, you can customize the caption here, so it doesn't need to say client type on MailChimp list and preferred technician. It could in here say client sort, commercial type, star rating, whatever you want. You can customize those captions and the content within those top 2 editions. Let's go back to the pick list as well. The contact log results on the client's record here. The contact log over this side in this edition, you can put much more customization into the options that are available here on the contact log. And again, it just allows you to use the contact log for sales and follow-ups and lots of other things that are in the other videos, but you can customize all that in this edition. Email addresses, you can add the email addresses of your staff in, so that you can actually email job details directly to staff from within clients' records. So you don't need to print them out in your office, you can email them to staff. And if you're using the inquiry tracker facility on this software, you can customize all the cancel reasons and the no quote reasons that were given. Obviously extra codes you can customize, so if you offer anything other than anti-allergen treatments and things that you've got in here, or even if you don't offer these, you can delete them and things like that. And then there's 2 more item analysis categories in here that if you're doing some of those very detailed custom reports, we can help you work on these. But again, it just allows you to set up additional analysis fields that allow you to cross-reference things, and there's a separate video about that, but you can customize those. Obviously, name titles you can amend and update. Payment methods, your payment terms you can customize. Your maintenance plan names, so you can set up multiple maintenance plans in these editions. Quotation categories, again, that's just for some of the analysis details, and again there's other videos that explain what those are. Also scan document categories, so when the information that you're scanning you can put them into separate sections. And staff breaks as well, there's a tool within the Business Builder and Turbocharged editions under the setup menu that allows you to book staff breaks, and that will automatically put the bookings on the diary for you, so you don't need to book off 2 weeks holidays on the diary. You do it through the staff break tool, and you can customize the settings that are in there. Now these are a couple of other ones that users find very invaluable. The staff categories, you've got 2 here, and the staff category 1 generally is what we set up and recommend you set up for the skills, basically, of the staff that you've got. So if you've got people that are qualified to do leather restoration, but not everybody is, you can set up leather restoration as a category and only mark the people that have got that skill as having it. So that means that when you're in the diary, there's a video that explains how you would do this, but you can just choose to just display the people that have got the leather restoration skill. And that leads on to the second category as well. Some people have technicians that work in different areas, perhaps Doncaster based technicians and Sheffield based technicians. They never really cross boundaries and they work in different areas. So when you're looking in the diary, there's just an ability to be able to flick between all or Sheffield or Doncaster only technicians. And again, that's where you could set this up. That's just one example that you can use for this, using those staff categories. In these 2 editions as well, you can set up multiple trading names. So if you have different names in different areas, the example here is Doncaster Chem-Dry, Rotherham Chem-Dry and Abbey Chem-Dry, for the different areas that they operate in. They're set up, and then within the system, when you put the client record on, you can choose which trading name applies to that client. So you can even do this if you've got a separate business that does, or a separate trading name for your stone care division. So you could be Stone Care Restoration for all the stone cleaning that you do, and Alan's Carpet Cleaning for all the carpet cleaning that you do. So this just allows you that flexibility to, and also it then makes sure that all the correct contact details and everything go on any paperwork that's generated from that record. Obviously you can customize the truck mount field in the client's record, and also the where did you get our telephone number and where did you first hear about us. The other videos explain what those are. Now if you quickly look at those client types again and where they are on the client's record. So if I close this and open the setup client captions, this is the where you would edit the captions on the client's record. So if we look at the top one here, client checkbox 1 and client checkbox 2, we've got in there waitlist and free spot remover. If I go back to the client's record here, you can see these are the boxes here. We've got waitlist and free spot remover, and these are literally just tick boxes on the front client record screen under this main tab here, and they either are or aren't on the waitlist, and you put a tick in the box if they are. And the free spot remover is they've made a web enquiry, so they get a free spot remover, and this just allows us at a glance to see that they've had a free spot remover if there's a tick in the box there. So then we've got the client type, client on MailChimp list, and preferred technician as before. They're the captions, and that's just where you edit them under the client captions section there, so you can just change those to suit you. There's just a couple of other bits that you can customize as well. If we go back to the setup menu again, and I'm going to go to the system setup menu here, just to explain what's in here. Obviously you've got your numbering, and there's options in there for you, but under the domestic options there's a few other things, just clever little details really, that make using the system and entering data and navigating just a little bit easier. You've got things like we allow you to amend the last job date actually in the field, as opposed to it relying on picking that up from jobs that you're entering. Now the way that's valuable is if you're putting a job on from an old system or from an old details, you can actually update the database and start using the system based on last job dates immediately. Then we've got the option to choose whether or not to default to manual pricing or automatic pricing when you're preparing quotes. And that's pretty self-explanatory. Copying client details and telephone number, that's if you're using the inquiry tracker. There's loads of videos that explain exactly how these work, but just to give you an overview of the flexibility and customizing that's available. You can also make it so that do you require a new telephone contact source before you move away from the front screen, or do you require a family name? So that's if we go back to the client record here, that's this little tick box here, is this correct? So it forces you to make sure that this is correct before you move away from this client screen here. Or for instance, if you've got you were on the address tab here, if you'd not got the family name entered as you're putting a new client record in. If you try and move away from this, it'll prompt you that you need to pop a family name in. So it's just built in some validation within the system, and in these top 2 editions you can decide to switch those on or off or not to suit how you actually operate individually. So it's not, we don't force you to do everything. You can choose whether or not to turn a lot of these little tools on. And then we've got some options if you're using the inquiry tracker system for do you want to display the search bars and how you want to display the search bars and grids at the top here. And again, that depends on how you operate in your office, and it may sound daunting, but when you do the initial installation and setup and start using these, we discuss how you operate with you and help you set this up. So don't worry about all these the details that are in here. But one of the other options that you do have in here is the facility to use and generate referral vouchers automatically. So if you give the client a percentage of the job that they bring in from a friend as a referral, you can actually mark that in the system, and the system will automatically generate those vouchers for you, and you can just put the percentage in there that you want it to do. So that's another clever little marketing tool that's built into this edition. We've already briefly touched, if I just close that one down, we've already briefly touched on the staff breaks. So if a member of staff puts a holiday request in, you can come into the section here and record that, and it automatically puts it on the diary for you. Some of the other things that you can customize, like in the Professional Plus edition, you can set up your service groups, so carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, leather cleaning, stone floor cleaning. In this edition as well, you can set up additional pricing groups. And things like that. You can also set up multiple pricing areas, so you can charge different prices in different areas. You can set up your pricing table for those. You can customize all your item codes. You can customize your pricing discounts that you offer on items, and you'll see in the quote section how that works. But one of the other things in this edition is the pricing quantity discount. In the Professional Plus there's only one level that you can set, but in this edition you can set virtually unlimited levels. So for instance, if you get to 50 square meters of carpet cleaning, you offer a 10% discount. If you get to 100 meters of carpet cleaning, you offer 20% discount. So you can set up multiple levels of quantity discount using this edition. And then there's some of the bits and bobs at the bottom here. I'm not going to run through them all, but there's just more things, more options that you can do. One of them that is useful is removing duplicate clients. So the system's got a way of looking through, and it will offer you up a couple of records that it thinks are duplicates, and you can decide which one to use, which one to keep both, and things like that. Update client telephone numbers. There's some clever tools where if you manage to get hold of telephone numbers after the event, you can automatically update them and things like that. So there's lots of other clever little tools that allow you to customize the system even further. So that's it. It's a long video, but just wanted to give you a flavour for how much customization there is available in the top 2 editions, the Business Builder and Turbocharged, and how you can make the system work much more how you work and get out of it what you want. So that's it. That's the extra customization in the Business Builder and Turbocharged editions.